seen Blade Runner.
Boom, we're back.
We're back, baby.
And we're doing Face Off today.
We are discussing Face Off, 1997 John Woo film.
Yeah.
What's our thoughts on it? What did you... Is it first time you've watched it in a while, or...?
Yeah. I remember watching it in that, like, period when I used to just buy loads of DVDs and stuff like that. And, like, I think, like, the early noughties, I started doing that. Like, proper, fucking... I remember I used to go to HMV every weekend and just fucking get, like... 5 or 6 DVDs. I think I remember, so I remember getting Face Off, and it is a pretty sick action film. I remember it being sick at the time.
Yeah, when you're younger.
Would you say so?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those, I didn't watch it younger, but when I was younger. No, I don't remember doing anyway. So watching it now as a film from the 90s, as a 33-year-old man, I'm like... It was really interesting to view it from that point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous for a start, and
it's mad.
I think what my experience of it watching it this time was that the first bit before they changed faces, was just what some of the worst filmmaking, or just like John Travolta's character. It's just weird because he's meant to be like a heroic guy, but he's just an annoying cunt in the first 10 minutes. He has a go at his daughter, just because she's got like eyeshadow. It's like, and he's going, I can't believe this. You know what I mean? Like that she's got like literally. Also, she runs in. She's got what, like a piercing.
Yeah, it's like a piercing,
and then she's got like some fucking
eyelashes or whatever.
They're like drawn on eyelashes. Or whatever.
Yeah, and then
it's not the most mental thing. You know, considering like, now, like what's considered. Like,
true.
What is it? And then he kind of. Because it's been going on for years. Because obviously, at the beginning of the film, Nicolas Cage shoots him, kills his son. Yeah. And it was okay. But then it's so weird when it goes like 6 years later. And I'm like, what? You haven't caught him yet? It's just a bit mad. It's like 6 years is a long time and he's still in the same country.
Yeah. And also Nicolas Cage's character, when he's going to murder him, he's like doing dead ostentatious stuff, like not trying to be covert. He's going like throwing his coat off, going like,
and then he's like, and then he pulls away and he's like, I can shoot him now. And then he goes, with Tasha, has a little sip of his drink, like. I need to warm up for this, man.
Yeah, and no one's like, why is that man with a rifle, I was gonna say, unpacking a rifle? Whilst
he blatantly stands up, like he said, like throws his coat, like so dramatic, like, can you see me? Yeah? Got this gun, and then
there's so many billowing coats in this film.
Yeah, because even when he gets out of his car at the air, you know, when he's getting the plane, it kind of goes, ding, 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 and it comes up, it's like, fuck me, but he is a bit mad in here, John Travolta, because he's even tight on his co-workers.
Well, he's tight on his co-workers, and he's also kind of like, he's got a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, and he's like walking around, he's like, you know, everyone speaking to him, like, being like, congratulations about stuff. And he's like, yeah. Well, what about fucking Jenkins? And fucking, what, you know what I mean? Like,
to Winters, Pincus, Janelli.
Yeah.
Like, because that's your name. Yeah. Because even beforehand, he has an argument with his daughter, and then he's kind of stood there, and then his wife's like, because he's caught him, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I have to work tonight, and he goes, I got him, Eve. She's like, what? He's like, it's over. And then they start hugging, and then he's just blatantly like lying to her, because he's like, he goes, I'll put in for a desk job. I'll talk about mind. I'll do counselling. I'll do it. Whatever you want. Well, I just want you. That's what you're gonna get. And then he goes into the co-workers and just starts going, what is all this? Yeah. Like when they start clapping, it's like you just...
Yeah, because he pretends not to notice. Well, that's what it comes across as, because everyone's starting to surround him and he's got his head down. Like,
with suitcase.
And then he's going, what? What? Like,
he's like, he just woke up. He literally just kind of goes... And then everyone's like going... Like in his face.
But also, he's kind of like saying, to his daughter, saying, you're not allowed to wear eyeshadow. But he thinks that's mental. But when they go, do you want to swap faces with the world's most dangerous terrorist? He's like, go on.
Do you want to swap faces where the terrorist who killed your son's going to start banging your wife? And then look up and down at your daughter as well. You know, when he like walks in and he's like,
so crazy.
Plot thickens.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
So obviously, like this, we've covered a lot of bit like of the start there. But that beginning scene for me is hilarious. They're on that merry-go-round. and he does the face wipe.
He always does,
which is so weird. And obviously, you discover later that that's like a way to show that it's when Nicolas Cage does that and when he does it to his wife and stuff. It's like this. But of all the choices, like if my dad did that to me, like wipe my face, I wouldn't be like, oh, my dad used to do it. I'd be like, it was weird as fuck.
Yeah,
what
are you doing?
No,
in public?
Yeah. It looks really weird and creepy.
Because even the music, because it's all like washed out and white, and it's all as if it's some memory. Obviously, it is kind of trying to be like that. But the music's like da 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 as this all happened, as the merry-go-round. Then it suddenly goes dun dun when it's Nicolas Cage. So it's just with the first 30 seconds is like the most dramatic versions of each thing. Like look, a son and a dad and his
like
son.
oh bless him, look at him bonding, and then he's like,
and then just suddenly here's the villain.
He's gonna like kill him.
It's proper like 90s like showing you immediately, like an action film where it's like shoving the thing down your throat immediately, going like, this is what this is. They don't want anyone to miss it. This guy shot this guy's son.
Like clearly news.
And like it's funny because I actually took a picture as well of because I used to be obsessed with that little box that Nicolas Cage has got. Like,
with the woman on it.
No, it's kind of like when for some reason it's like they open this box for him. And it's got like some sunglasses in it. Some like pills, some joints.
It's got them sick guns on the back of it. You know when he takes his jacket off, it's got them gold. When I was a kid watching that, I was like, I want them gold guns.
But I took a picture because it's rapid, like it kind of only only on it for a few frames, and I was like, what is in that box?
It's like sunglasses.
So I took a picture. Like, see if you can guess. So sunglasses, joints,
pills.
There's some pills, but what pills are that? Because
like blue ones, like Viagra or something.
Well, this is it.
Is Vivac in it?
What?
Vivac is it called?
What's that?
Because that's the pills what Pollux has. You know when he says to him in the pub, he's like,
head. I don't know. They're just like.
Oh yeah, just a big bag of pills.
Coke and all that. I always thought that was dead cool.
And also though, there's 12 piece of fruit flavored gum.
That's the one I said because he takes some out and goes shakes it and then puts it in his coat pocket, doesn't he?
So I thought that was interesting, but
he's mad as well though, isn't he? His character at the beginning where he's the priest.
Oh yeah.
Hallelujah.
And
he's like,
he goes up to that like young girl or whatever. She drops a prayer hymn page, and he comes up behind her and then starts like sexually molesting her.
Pretty much, He's like just fucking grab her.
And no one in the choir turn around and go, "Why is that priest?"
It's so
he's
crazy.
Done that thing where he's like, he's like. When he's like coming over to like and it's like, what priest does that?
And another thing I thought is when she's like kind of enjoying it, I'm like, Nicolas Cage isn't sexy.
No, he's got the worst trim in there.
He's got really bad hairline, hasn't he?
Yeah,
like his hair's right back there.
Mad hairline, and also just a mad trim where like the sides of his head like come out like dead thick, and then like the top of his head's just like a crew cut.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's weird, man.
It's a bit mad.
Yeah, because immediately like he's doing that face. I'm like, there's a meme already, and I'm like, I bet there's gonna be loads of.
This is it. So like, there's so many. To be fair to Nicolas Cage, is that I think that Nicolas Cage is like the best, gives the best performance in this. Like in terms of like, like he does play like obviously, it's not scary. Like it's not like, oh, this guy's a scary maniac. Yeah. It's more just like it's bizarre.
It is very bizarre. He's like the king of being the most bizarre character. Yeah, because I feel like the first part, I think the first 20 minutes, it's hard to understand the two characters. And when I read a bit of the trivia where they were like, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage said to each other, let's have very clear mannerisms in our own selves so that we can copy each other when we swap. And I'm like, I think that the acting in the first bit is like very over the top and almost like I was watching it going, is it a comedy or is it an action? I was like, is it supposed to be satire or is it supposed to be action and stuff? And then in the second half, I was like, oh, it makes sense now that they've swapped. Like the acting went up way more.
100%.
Yeah. So this is it, and like it's like the first thing here that's annoying, and then they have that big fight scene in the hangar.
Before he catches him.
Yeah, also like it looks like there's this, he jumps in front of a live jet engine.
Oh,
which
that is
must
so
be
crazy.
1,000
and then he
degrees.
presses it faster, and then he goes, and then he comes off the floor basically.
Yeah, and then he fucking like bangs against the thing, and then like apparently he's dead or whatever.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's a bomb in the LA Convention Center. Well, we don't know that yet, but there's a bomb, and then they're like, listen, this guy just turns up. He's going, I'm from Special Ops. My name's and he goes, I know who you are. It's like,
oh shit,
well, do you? Because
it's that woman, innit?
Well, there's a woman. Yeah, the woman and the guy. And then
Special Ops. They want a word. He goes, save it. I don't have the time. And then she's like, well, make time, Sean, because she stood there in the doorway. And then she's basically like, yeah, let's do this mad procedure.
So basically, she says, we've got this new technology where we swap your face for.
Because they're doing it to one of their guys who had his ear blown off.
Yeah.
So they're showing that where they're like,
rebuilding the ear.
Yeah, this is what we can do. We can just get his ear right back on straight away. And then they're like, then he starts like showing it to John Travolta where he's like, we'll take your face, his face, and start, and connect everything.
But what's also mad is that they go, we're going to use like lasers to dial back your hairline. But then I thought, well, that means that he's never going to be able to get his old. Like John Travolta's,
he gets it back even better. To be honest, when you see it, you go, "That was better than when he at the beginning of the film."
But it's weird because, like, well, anyway, like to be fair, we shouldn't really like poke holes in it being unrealistic because, all films are,
when you look at it.
I think that with this, but like what's mad, a mad moment in it is when they go and she goes. He goes, but he's dead, and she goes, not quite. And then
puts
she puts
a cig out on him.
She
Yeah,
puts a cig out on him.
I was like, no way.
And I thought, no, like if you're a professional, like your head of special ops.
I was gonna say professional. Yeah.
You're a professional, and as if you just.
Can I put a cig out on your arm and like not move or make any reaction?
Until she did that, I didn't realize she was even smoking in the hospital.
Yeah,
she's like just walking and similarly talking.
I thought that's what like bare people like unconscious under the knife and that with ear getting his thing put on, and she's like, yeah, watch this here. Puts it out on him.
It's like a super like meant to be what do you call it? What do you call it? Sanitary.
Come on.
Sanitized, like
environment, clean environment.
Yeah. And she's not only smoking a cig, putting the cigs out.
I need to put it out somewhere, so I'll show you that he's not waking up.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what I mean. It's just say, don't worry, he won't wake up.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, look.
You might as well just like sound him going.
Cut his dick.
Look, see, we'll make time, Sean.
Look, he's not even awake.
Open his eyelids like that. Can you not see?
Look, he's not. Just starts raping. Look, he's not even awake.
He's like,
get in here.
Do you want to go, Sean? He murdered your son
6 years ago. Come on, you need to go in that prison.
So and even when they put the cig out, I'm like, he must have like this asbestos skin because they just put it doesn't burn into his skin. They just go.
Like it's water. Like
yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah, so, and then obviously they switch face. And I don't understand why. I have actually heard this take somewhere, I think. But I don't understand why, instead of sending him into the prison, they didn't just, like, do it in an interview room. Like, get him as Castor Troy. And then say, we're calling your brother out from prison. And then get him in an interview room. And then they have a chat being like, yeah bro, so they're going to let us off if you were in the convention centre. They go, no, what we're going to do is we're not going to tell anybody about it.
Yeah, literally, like, there's only 3 of us who know.
This prison, like, how high
it's
tech?
on like an oil rig, innit, or something?
It's how high tech is it, though? Like, I've never seen a prison like
what
that.
What kind of prison is that? Like this futuristic, like, on an oil...
I think he says when he's like, when John Travolta has... Nicolas Cage is stood there naked in the prison as he gets put in. He's like shining the torch on him. He's saying like, the international waters don't know about this place. And it's like, what is that like high profile where they've just shipped you out on a like helicopter?
Well, to be fair, reading the Wikipedia afterwards, the original script was set in the future.
Okay.
So like originally it was meant to be set like way in the future. So that's I think a hangover from that original script. That's why the prison was so high tech.
It's like Magnum, like metal, everything's like
the metal things. Which to be fair, once they switch faces, it does get really like a riveting film. You're like,
It's as if the face swap part is like they just have to get to. It's like. They went in the room and they're like, we've got a great idea. And they're like, how do you get to that bit? And they're like, don't worry about that. We'll get to that bit.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if it was set in the future, I would have suspended belief more. Like you can, I think if something's set, the reason we're poking holes in the thing is because you're like in the 90s, the technology. Whereas if it's like set at an indiscriminate time in the future, you do almost go like, maybe that could be the technology, and you can kind of cut corners more because you're like, it's just future technology. But like the way they do it, it's just one of those weird, those masks that people use to like
so mad.
Improve the like skin.
It
looks like one of them. And then they're doing that procedure, and it's it is mad because it seems that he's arguing it for a moment. He's like, I'd rather be anyone but him or whatever. Like he's like, and then within about a minute, he's like, I'll do it. Like,
you want me to?
He just gives up on it immediately.
All the people who love and trust me, I'll do it. It's like, he's just
And then. Yeah, but the whole procedure thing is funny, and the graphics on the computer are like what you'd get on like a video game from the 2000s. So it's funny.
It's like mad, like they get those masks just to lay on the face, and then it automatically just picks the face off, and then puts it in the water, and then it like confidently just floats off it and goes into the water, and you're like, it's just fucking mad. Yeah,
and then obviously, he wakes up and he has to do the voice thing. Like they've put a microchip.
Oh yeah, he's got like he's like, a sneeze could dislodge it.
Go on.
I was gonna say that thing, that sneeze dislodging thing. I was like, right, watch out for that because that's gonna come up later.
He does it as well. He does it twice actually.
Right.
He does it where when he escapes prison, he phones his wife. Obviously, he's Nicolas Cage, and he's going like, I know this sounds crazy, shit, like because he can't dislodge it. And then when they're fighting at the end in the church. He starts looking at his daughter and he's like, hear my voice, I'm your father.
Right.
But he actually goes back to John Travolta and it's dead confusing, but it's kind of cool. Like.
And like, so like obviously he goes into the prison and he's all like fucking, but the Nicolas, like John Travolta in Nicolas Cage's body is way more freaked out. Like he's constantly being like,
he is. When
he wakes up and he stands up and he goes to the mirror and he goes,
he's really freaking out about it.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Sean! Fuck you! You're Sean, aren't you? When this is over, I want you to take this face and burn it. The doctor's just going, sound. Shouldn't have done this, man. Fuck,
Yeah, like, so, when he's like, fuck you. It's so mad. And then, whereas
I've written that down,
Nicolas Cage in John Travolta's body is like,
it's so funny. He's like, when he's driving through a thing, he goes like, he's driving through the streets, get to the house that John Travolta has Nicolas Cage, and he's just driving through, and he's like, what is this? I'm in hell. I may never get a hard on again.
And then he drives past
his wife, and then I think they had an argument last time they saw each other. Yeah. And he just gets out and he's like, just opens the door. He's still sat in there, and he's just like, she's like, how was your, like, because he tells her he goes away.
How's your like he says we have to go away.
How's your thing? And then
one last mission or something.
And then he just stands there and he goes, which one was that? Oh, the outer body experience. Where are you going? Like he straight away he's like, I'm banging you.
But it's weird because like, at that stage when he goes back, the film almost turns into like a Freaky Friday type like you kind of like being like, oh, finally she's getting a bit of attention.
Because he just like
you kind of like, oh, you kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I say buzzing for it, but at the same time it's like, it's not your husband.
It's not like portrayed as creepy at that point.
No,
it's kind of portrayed as like, Papa's got a brand new bag.
I love that.
Yeah,
he says it as well.
And I was surprised how like, if he's this mental terrorist who killed his kid and stuff like that, and I'm surprised like that he showed so much restraint with his daughter. Because it's like, but maybe he was like, if I rape her now,
as her dad,
then as her dad,
it's just like
I'm gonna get found out or whatever.
But he said because he's got to be lenient with it, and then but near the end when they're fighting and they find out who he is, like because he has her older, doesn't it? Yeah. And he just goes, now we're gonna find out what's in Papa's bag, peaches.
Just
like licks her face, and it's just like fuck.
I for a moment thought that the girl when he turns up in a room and he's like checking out her ass and stuff.
Yeah, he opens it and he proper like and he like.
I thought. Is that the same girl in the choir in the first place? Is that supposed to be her? It's definitely not her.
No, definitely not her. No.
Okay, I was like, oh, okay. They all look the same, white girls.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, it's definitely not.
No.
But I know what you mean. Yeah, and then so he does all that. Let me see.
Yeah, I had something
about
that as well. Go on, Carl.
No, I was going to say, like, it's interesting to see the characters change. So, you know, when you see, I think John Travolta can easily switch because he's so depressing in the first 20 minutes. It's very, like sick to see him, like, just, you know, like when he's just like going, ow!
To be fair, maybe that's why he was such a, like, depressing bore in the first 10 minutes, so that he could see the contrast of as Castor Troy. But like with Nicolas Cage, it's funny because he's like the crazy one anyway, and it's funny that the fact that he doesn't want to act crazy because he is John Travolta, but then there's glimpses of it where he needs to be it. Like, you know, when he's when he gets put in the prison and he gets jumped by Dubois, is it? And then he's kind of sat there like that, and then he looks at Pollux, his brother, and then he's looking at him going, "This is not you," and then he kind of just goes. And then he ends up twatting the guy, and then everyone's like, that's another meme, I think, that bit where he does that, where he goes, that's another meme, I think.
Like, watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah, that's one of the bits where I was like, oh, okay, Nicolas Cage is doing a great job of being John Travolta in Nicolas Cage's body. I was like, this is the first bit where I was like, okay, that's really good now.
And like, I remember, like, when he escapes out the prison, I was like, because in my head they'd set it up so well that prison was, you couldn't break out of it, basically.
Pretty much.
So I remember when I watched it as a when I was a teenager, I was so buzzing like that. I was like, no way has he managed to fucking escape.
Yeah, he's like got on the roof. He's got like he's jumping off the fucking shed bit. You know,
there's
when
a
the
sick
fire
bit in it, which I thought was pretty cool. When he gets like, he sees some sulfuric acid.
Oh, when he throws
it up and then shoots it, and it goes shh, which to be fair was like a good little action sequence. And then when he escapes from the prison, I thought it was funny as well in the prison when there's like a shot that's clear that that Castor Troy is shagging his wife back at home. Yeah. And then it cuts to Nicolas Cage in prison as John Travolta. It's gonna get confusing, but you know, and he's just like looking in the mirror as his wife,
Oh yeah, and then he's like,
depressing.
Yeah, it's
it was like, damn.
Because it is a good, it's.
Because you're like, fuck, that's probably one of the worst situations you could ever get yourself in.
It's when you look into it really deep. It's like, so I tracked a guy down, right, for 6+ years. He killed my son. I finally got him, but then me being a knob, I'm going to switch faces because I really want to stop the bomb going off in LA. I'm going to pretend to be him while he gets out, and he ends up, he's just banging my wife. He's looking at my daughter.
Keeps me in prison for life.
Yeah. Because go on.
And then goes and shags my wife.
Yeah.
John Travolta's the biggest mug in this.
Yeah, but he's just getting
mugged.
Mugging
him off constantly.
He's like a Simon in between, isn't he?
Yeah,
just getting proper mug. I love that scene where he thinks, you know, like he gets it out of his brother. He's like, we're going to blow up LA, ain't it cool? And he gets out the location, and then he goes, he's walking up and down in his cell, and then the guy comes and he's like, you have a visitor? And he's thinking, yeah, it's Tito.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then when it comes out, John Travolta's just like, quick.
Oh, he's great with that. Yeah,
with the newspaper, and then he walks in, he just goes, it's like looking in a mirror, only not.
Yeah, well, he says, what's the line he says just before that? He goes, you so hot.
No, that's it. He goes, wee, you good looking.
Oh, yeah. It's not good. It's not good at all.
No.
From Travolta. No. Because it's weird with John Travolta that like to think that 3 years before that he was in Pulp Fiction, having his big career revival, being cool as fuck.
And then he's the corniest guy.
And then he's the corniest guy.
And then he's like, God, I miss that face. He tries to.
One of my favourite bits that we've gone over is when Nicolas Cage wakes up in his own body without a face. He sits up in the bed, and there's no one there, and he gets out of the bed, he walks up and sees John Travolta's face in some jelly, and he starts going, no! And he figured it out so quick. He was like,
it was
I
mad.
have no face.
I think it's a bit where you see him go like that, and then he's like, right, my face is not there.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously, I think he's something like he randomly gets a phone.
Yeah.
And he's on the phone, and he's just like, he goes, I got for some fucking.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
And then he gets his boys there, doesn't he, to like.
Yeah, his boys grab forgot what it's called. The
professor.
He comes, and then he's. It's funny. One of the lines what cracks me up where he comes right up to his face, and you see his reflection in his glasses, and then he says, "What do you want?" And he's just like clapping. He's like, "Take one goddamn guess."
But that particular bit is like when he's saying that line, he's got a cig in his mouth, and you can see. Because I was thinking,
you can.
They did a really good job of just showing his face for a second to the side.
When he's clapping, when he stands up.
Yeah. It's kind of like how they did it with The Dark Knight. whichever one it was with Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent, yeah.
Yeah, and they just at first they just like cut to it very briefly, and then it shows it in the glasses, like the reflection of him in the glasses, and his face does look fucked up.
Yeah, no, it is good.
It was a pretty good shot, that.
Yeah, there's another bit which I thought was like pretty tight on John Travolta, because he's Castor Troy in John Travolta's body with obviously his face and stuff, and he's going, I can't believe I've got to live this nose, this hair,
this ridiculous chin.
And it's like, but John Travolta must be offended, because it's like,
because he is taking the piss. Yeah,
it's like this ridiculous chin. It's like, but John Travolta's like, oh, I thought I was good looking. I thought this was like a good thing.
I always wonder with stuff like that, like whenever there's a character taking the piss out of themselves, or they're in a scene where someone says something horrible to it, saying like a comedy movie where they're all I wonder if they go to call me this. I know that's one thing that I know. You're allowed to say it though.
Yeah,
I wonder,
that's true.
or if the writers are, he gets a script and he's like, oh my god, do you hate me? Like, do you think I'm ugly?
No, to be fair, like, he's they probably ran it by him and he's like, that's fine. Or maybe John Travolta, like you said, like
suggested it.
Maybe this hair, this ridiculous chin.
Yeah, I remember thinking that. Yeah,
ridiculous though. It's such
ridiculous.
A bad way to describe it.
Not even like, look at this chin. He's like, this ridiculous chin.
Yeah, and then I remember looking at Nicolas Cage on the next scene and being like, "What's your chin like?"
Checking his
It's
chin.
also so good.
It's also bad as well. Like he gets away with shit as well. Like, do you know when we talk about like when he's the priest and he's grabbing and like molesting and no one around? He's like, do you know when he becomes like he disables the bomb and then he comes back to the office and he's like. And then Nicolas Cage is like crying as John Travolta, and then he's just like, I want to thank you for all these years about being an insufferable bore, and everyone's like having a laugh with him, and then that secretary comes out, and she's like,
the blonde one,
like she's pretty hot, and she says something like, oh, you've got your the White House is on line 1 and your wife's on line 2, and he's like, will you tell the president to hold? And he's like in a room full of people, and it's like, is that gone unnoticed or something? Do you know what I mean? It's just like
that's one of those moments where he's playing Nicolas Cage well.
It's
like, and there's some moments where it's a bit like, I don't know, because what's good about them both trying to be each other and be really corny is that they are both really corny. So they do get away with it in a way.
No, definitely. Like, they are. Yeah, both corny. Who do you think was the better? I think Nicolas Cage is probably like
the better of the two.
The better actor. I think it was
not
more
not like all overall, because I think John Travolta's different. John Travolta's like a more almost like a bit of an icon in terms of like, he was in Grease. He was in.
So he did all those films.
Saturday Night Fever. I've not watched that yet.
He went through a phase, didn't he? After when he did all the musicals, he found it difficult to get into action films and stuff because no one kind of took him seriously. I think they were like, mate, you're in Grease bouncing around on a table, and now you want to come into like Face Off and you know what I mean, be this guy. Get your face off, mate.
Do like an in between one, John, where you're doing a bit of dancing and a bit of peeling your face off.
Exactly.
Way you good looking.
That's one of the best lines.
Such a mad line. That's his first line as Nicolas like Castor Troy, innit?
Right.
And it's just like you said, when he says it, you're like, oh, don't be like this through the whole film now. But he's not. He just does like you said, he does mad.
Because is he doing like a black voice there?
I know, it does seem like he's doing
hey,
that.
Mom, you good looking.
Yeah.
It's so
it's like, but I think John Travolta.
It's like funny if it like, he ended up and it wasn't actually Castor Troy in his body, and it was like fucking like Dave Chappelle.
We got the wrong guy.
God damn it.
But that would be funny because technically what that would mean is you'd have an entirely black body with just a white face.
It's a good job that the terrorist was a white.
But also, like, Nicolas Cage is taller than John Travolta, so what's
he's a lot taller actually.
Stuff like that, and then also when imagine if John Travolta's circumcised and Nicolas Cage isn't.
He's white.
He's shagging his wife. She's like, where did you get foreskin from? What the?
You don't have that much hair on your balls. How do you know?
Yeah.
Would you not notice, like, your dick's either bigger or smaller?
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, you would notice the feel of the dick.
Even the body as well. You'd be like, hold on.
No, but they did sort the body out, though.
Even like when he's talking to a different...
Yeah, they say we're going to get rid of those love handles.
Oh, shit, the old love handles. Again, ripping him. Let's just rip John Travolta. Like,
rid of these floppy tits, John.
that ridiculous chin.
Ridiculous chin. So I think my favourite scene in it actually is when he goes to that bald guy's apartment.
Yes,
which
it definitely is the best.
Which for a start, he kind of looks when he's waiting for him like he's just in an apartment block. Like he's kind of like friends, and then he goes into this apartment, which is like a fucking hangar. Yeah. It's like a fucking the sickest gaff you've ever seen.
It is sick, yeah.
And then they're all partying and stuff.
Castor fucking Troy! You scared me, man. But again, when he gets kissed off him. Yeah, that's such a mad scene.
That's the best.
Yeah, he's like sat there and he's like, tiny surgery. I like to take his face off. Excuse me, boys. I'm gonna have to use the boys' wee room.
Yeah.
And then they're both like the guy's going, You want to take his face off? He's like, the eyes, skin, the nose, and
the
just
ridiculous
cut
chin.
He should have put that line in actually, shouldn't he? Like the eyes,
my
and
ridiculous chin.
My ridiculous chin.
I mean, his ridiculous chin.
That to me is the best scene. Yeah. Because where he's like laying back on it and he's saying, "Take it."
And also,
take it off.
It's mad because you realise like how deep he is, how deep both of them are into that world. That like all because at first John Travolta's been so fucked over, like you said. He's shagging his wife. He's giving his daughter a knife.
Yeah.
He's fucking at his job. Everyone loves him at his job and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, everyone's loving him.
And then that's when he starts to gain some ground back. Like when he's obviously like in with his boys and stuff, and then
it's pretty sick that because he's not even
then that bird, that girl,
Gina Gershon.
He's the one who's like, because is it the bit where he's like looking in the mirror and he's like,
again.
He turns around, she's like, I thought you were dead.
Like, that is the maddest scene.
I'm not dead.
Yeah.
Why
is he doing that?
I don't know. It's
he's
really
trying
mad.
to be
it's just Nicolas Cageism, isn't it?
I think it keeps he keeps going back and forth because there's a scene, where he's sat with the boys.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do we get Super Cop? And then he says something where he goes like, we can go to his house. His code's 10/1986. That's his dead son's birthday. Yeah. But he knows it because he is John Travolta.
Yeah.
And then they all start laughing. He's like, how's it that you know so much about Archer? And then he just goes, I sleep with his wife.
Yeah.
And then everyone starts laughing. But then he's kind of like, he doesn't want to laugh because he's like, oh, I'm actually gutted.
Yeah.
Because my wife's getting shagged off Nicolas Cage. But then he starts going. He just starts laughing then, doesn't he? Where he's like,
that's that's definitely the best scene for me.
Yeah, I love that scene. Yeah, because it's like.
Yeah, no,
it's that kind of a split personality.
This is what I mean. It's almost like several different films in like one film in terms of like I said, like when he comes home, it's like Papa's got a brand new bag. It's like a kind of like Freaky Friday type thing, like cool, like quirky action.
It's kind of exciting when that happens. You're like, what
then that like when he's like face off, it starts getting sinister,
very sinister,
like kind of like Hannibal Lecter type shit. And then when he's doing that in the mirror, I'm it's
like, is he losing his mind and thinking he is?
He is on drugs at that point.
Kind of thing.
Oh, he is
because he did take them drugs, didn't he? And he's just like,
true.
no more drugs for that man.
Yeah,
because he falls off the bed.
I used to proper like get scared when I was a teenager. I'd never taken drugs at that point.
Right.
And when he swigs this mad thing, and I was like, fuck. I was like, why didn't he just refuse it?
Why did he say I'm not thirsty?
Not realizing that you kind of have to.
But then I was thinking, what is this drug that they all take that makes you whitey, basically? Like, Anyway, but
that might be one of those hangover things from the future drug thing.
Yeah.
But what's the woman called again? He slaps him.
Gina Gershon.
But it's funny because there's a funny bit in it where she goes, she's like, is that what you want? Do you want me to? What do you expect me to do after all these years? She jumps on him, and he's like, oh.
And then he says like, that's not what I meant. And she goes, what did you mean? This? What about that? What about that? And then Pollock Troy's fucking spying on her. He's like, I think this guy's enjoying being
He is an annoying.
He's a little gimp in it.
I hate his.
What about our $10 million?
His voice.
Yeah.
He's speaking in that. Oh, it's so annoying that.
To me, when I see it was when they all meet with that. By the way, we should do one section in a sec. That little box that you were showing the picture of. When they're all on that airfield waiting to go. Like that scene to me was like, I wonder if actual criminals watch and be like, oh, he's trying to get the clever one to look like that guy. He's trying to get the mental one to look like that. And I'm like, I wonder, because to them it's just a caricature of what they're actually like. And he is definitely the trope of like the glasses one who's a bit smarter.
Little nerd, the guy designed the bomb.
The
and
hacker guy.
Yeah.
But also, like, I remember there's a guy in that airfield scene where, this is at the start, innit?
Yeah.
And he, there's a guy whose job it is to take his coat off. Like he takes,
he takes
his coat off, and I think he puts a new one on. And I thought, what kind of like henchman or like gangster guy, how much of a muppet he has to be like, what do you do in Castor's crew? And he's like, I'm his tailor, basically.
I put his coat on and
no, there's one what I did thought about who they originally wanted to who actually cast as.
Oh yeah, they were gonna cast like Travolta, Stallone and Schwarzenegger. That would have worked.
The only thing, I don't know. Like the only thing is like them being each other.
Yeah, true.
Because you're seeing that.
Yeah, that's true. It would have been too corny.
Yeah,
maybe.
and the thing is as well. Like Arnie's a much bigger guy than Stallone.
Yeah, true.
Like I know John Travolta's a bit bigger than Cage, but they can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
But like imagine like.
I know.
I just couldn't picture it.
There was other ones that was going to do Michael Douglas and someone else. Yeah, I'll get them up.
They also apparently Johnny Depp read Sean Archer's script and instantly went, nah, not for me, kind of thing. And then
I thought at the ending they missed a trick at the end because they get like Sean Archer ends up like adopting Castor Troy's son.
Adam,
and like and he goes and like at the end he's like, got a little surprise for you, and then he comes in and he's like, is it okay? Like, and imagine if she goes, no. And he goes, okay, lad, sorry. Yeah. But I thought what they were going to... Well, I thought they missed a trick by going, okay, and here's from... And what we're going to do, we're going to take your face off. We're going to put my son, who's dead, and put it on yours.
Even though he's 6 years into the ground, we're still going to dig that fucking grave. Yeah.
Because it's the future. But like, and then the last scene is the little boy like getting his face...
And then it ends, and then it's like, face off too, mate.
Face off too.
And the kid grows up to have this horrible, disfigured, like half.
Like a decomposed face.
She even does that as well, which is dead corny about like when she goes, "Hi, I'm Jamie."
Oh, she does the face. This is what me and my freakish family do.
This is what he did to my brother before he died.
Yeah. I've just been fingering myself.
Hi, I'm Adam.
That's
what he says.
The weirdest scene for me is when Gina Gershon, the hottest chick in the movie, Nicolas Cage is like, peace. She's like, this is your son. And then Nicolas Cage is like, and he starts hugging
Michael?
him. Yeah, Michael. And
Michael?
She's going, you're scaring him. He's going, Michael. And then the gunshot comes through and you hear...
and he's like,
get down! And then the bullet comes through and he's like, so he hears a bullet.
Yeah.
He hears a bullet flying through the air and he manages to get them out of the way in time. It's
but
hilarious.
He doesn't. Yeah.
I think Dietrich has the best death.
Is that the bald guy?
Yeah. Because he just like, that's like I'd love to have that death me in a film. Because he doesn't. Because he literally goes like, but it's weird because he always kisses his sister on the lips.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it's that? Like, he go like, take the kid and get out of here. Go!
Oh, yeah.
And then he proper kind of
proper snogs and then she goes, hurry up.
Well, that is kind of become a trope in those kind of films where someone kisses someone just before they die that you wouldn't expect them to kiss. And I think that might be like, look how much the freaks these are.
It's like he's had the face on and then he just turns to Cage and then he's pissing blood and he just goes, hey man, we had some good times, didn't we? And he's like, oh.
It's interesting because I'm just looking now here, one of the screenwriters for it.
Big bald head.
Yeah, he is proper against the wall.
Do you know
he's got hair in real life?
He has. He actually shaved his head off and then apparently
shaved his head off.
No, sorry. He shaved his head off. It's like, we're not doing the face now. We're doing the top of the head. But I read about he shaved his hair off and then John Woo actually like, I like that because he gambled because he said I think in his head he was like, right, I'm gonna play this character and like go full.
Right.
Throttle. I'm gonna shave my hair, and then he walked in and he was like, I can see that working.
Okay. Well, the script apparently the other guy who one of the screenwriters wrote The Mask, basically. The Mask. I'm just trying to see what the other guy was.
I think one of the maddest. Go on.
I was going to say about that like weird lure that they have, like Nicolas Cage's house. It's very like 90s bad people, like villain. It's like the classic. It almost looks like in something in the Flintstones or something. It's like this. It had this weird, like they all were this like weird punkish. If you go to any 90s, even in the Matrix, like the weird guys in that are like that kind of style. Where that's what
long coats and stuff.
Yeah, It's like the people who are against the government and all this, and the criminals all kind of had this style in the 90s, and it's like that place is like. The epitome of it. It's like just
did
like
those
that.
criminals like actually exist?
I know, that's what I wonder. Yeah,
you always think that. Could they get away with that stuff?
Neo-punk.
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact description of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did, or was it like, this is what we think that
criminals are going to be.
Yeah, exactly, in the future and stuff.
Going back to, sorry, go on.
No, I'm just going to see if I can find who else was meant to play. Here we go. Various actor pairings were considered. Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Michael Douglas and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And Alec Baldwin and Bruce Willis.
That would have been weird.
It would have been good for you.
Oh
yeah. You like Alec Baldwin?
I do love him. No, it's alright.
No, you like him in Porter.
Shoots his shot.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Michael Douglas served as executive producer. Didn't spot that.
Yeah. Interesting fact about Michael Douglas. He, I don't know if I feel like I said this on the last one.
Go on.
Michael Keaton, his original name was Michael Douglas. And he was like, right, I want to be an actor. And then he's like, oh, someone's already took my name, Michael Douglas. But Michael Douglas's real name isn't Michael Douglas. So he changed it. Michael Douglas changed his name to Michael Douglas. And then Michael Douglas came along and was like, oh, I can't be that. I'm Michael Keaton
I'm
instead.
actually Michael Douglas.
Was Michael Douglas's name originally Michael Keaton?
That's interesting.
Imagine Keaton Michael. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for that. That's all I've got for the trivia. There's not much trivia on this one.
Yeah,
it's mad, yeah.
No one.
Do you know when you go back to John Travolta just getting teared into all the time? There's also that scene where he's having that interview with Dietrich.
Oh yeah.
And then he's just like, I can go and talk to your sister. She's right outside. Only this time I'll be nice. And then he just turns to him and he goes, hey Sean, how's your dead son?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then gets thrown on the floor. He's like, I don't know anything.
Yeah, it's so on the nose, isn't it? Like,
it's like
so much of it's like fucking.
How is your dead son?
Yeah, how is your dead son?
Fuck me. The guy who killed your son is going to be shagging your wife soon. But I just thought I'd ask you, how's your dead son? It's like such a.
And I can't remember that boat scene at the end kind of.
It's a bit too much, isn't it?
It's a bit annoying.
It's like flies up in the end, and them two fly up and then land perfectly on the shore.
And then when he finally kills him at the end, and he's like, die.
But then he's going, I'm ready.
Oh yeah,
ready for the big ride, baby. Going back to the beginning, when he's on his knees, as cast, and he's like, well, you better pull the trigger, Sean, because I don't give a fuck. I'm ready, and he's grabbing the knife.
That bit.
Yeah. So he kind of does it again, but has John Travolta in it. Well, I don't know if that's a callback, but it's just like, but he's still he's dying, and he's still like, I'm gonna be mad, I'm gonna be crazy. I'm ready for the big ride, baby. Fucking, I don't get as well. Like he cuts his face, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Like every time you look in the mirror, you'll see me, and then he starts cutting it, and I'm like, how's he got his face back on John Travolta then? Yeah.
Well, because when John Travolta turns up at his family home, and he comes back,
all the mist and shit.
He's not got a.
No scar.
He's not got a scar on him.
Everything's just. But even his hair's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
So swayed up in that, and he just dead corny. He's like, and then
Oh yeah, it's so corny.
And then
who do you think the best performance then? I've got mine.
I think it's got to be Nicolas Cage. I think without Nicolas Cage, that film doesn't.
It's in the water, innit?
Doesn't do well.
No, I think John Travolta as Nicolas Cage is the best.
John Travolta
when John Travolta's the bad guy. When he comes, when he's basically John Travolta as the bad guy.
What? So you like him going, you good looking?
Yeah, just that line. No, I think with Nicolas Cage, it's like he's played so many roles as a madman.
Yeah.
And he's obviously sick in Face Off, but John Travolta's this just like character who, like he said, he's just dead depressed and he just moans at everyone. Like he's not obviously got.
There is times when John Travolta as Castor Troy is good.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
You know, but yeah,
he's definitely better than him playing his own character.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. I think when John Travolta is Nicolas Cage,
when he's playing his own character,
it's just boring, isn't it?
It's a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just
even at the end when he's hugging all his family and shit. I'm a bit like, right, come on, just fucking roll.
Wrap it up now. You're back to normal. You know what I mean?
That's why I was expecting like that. You know, like. That little boy, fucking some, you know.
So yeah, because that's to
be, yeah.
It's actually his son.
Sasha, baby. I'm Castor. That's Archer. And I'm bored.
Do you reckon it's lucky that also that the son was? It's weird because she was kind of like a bit Latina, isn't she? That
Gina Gershon.
Yeah,
she is. Yeah,
or Italian or something.
Yeah, I think she's.
And that kid was like. Just straight up like white kid.
Yeah.
It's funny if like imagine if like this the kid was like, you know, like a black kid. Would he have still?
Yeah, got in John Travolta's family afterwards. Yeah.
Just because he looked like his son, he was like, you know what? Good like for like replacement.
Yeah. This is Jamie
as well.
Yeah.
You better not grow up Latino.
What's John Travolta's wife called? I think she's really good.
I think that she's the best.
I think she's
quite good.
Yeah, I just think she's.
The reason
who you're going for.
Yeah, the reason because you can't just like pick the top two. Well, of the two though, Nicolas Cage is the better one. I think playing the other guy. Especially, it's the whole breakdown thing that he has of him of being like half John Travolta being Nicolas Cage and half him like turning into Nicolas Cage is a great thing. But the wife plays so well, like being suspicious but not knowing why. There's something different about this guy.
Yeah, and she's married to like a top cop, so she's like, I can't ask too many questions.
Yeah, but then also she's the only one who has the correct amount of like. Not knowing what's going on. Everyone else, like his brother in prison, he's looking at him all the time like, pretty sure that's someone else has my brother's face on.
Yeah.
Like,
do you exchange brains as well? Like,
Everyone else seems to know for some reason.
Some mad reason, yeah.
Whereas she doesn't. And then when she realizes that it is Nicolas
takes his
Cage,
blood, doesn't she?
Yeah, she takes his blood.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes like quite... Oh, do you know what's a mad scene as well? When she goes to the son's grave, and you think this is going to be one of those moments where Nicolas Cage is like, "Oh, right, look what I've done to these people." But as she's knelt down, he's just holding her head, and he's just like, "Can't wait for this to be over." This fucking
like I
bitch.
fucking hate this shit.
He's just like well pissed off with her, like, "Oh, who cares about this dead kid? I shot him."
He does it as well, where he's in the church for Lazaro's funeral.
Yeah.
His boss, and then some kid comes over to me and goes like, some guy wanted me to pass you this, and it's a picture of his son, and he literally just goes, folds it up and goes, and just drops, and he's like, he just doesn't care, does he? He's like, I don't care that I killed a fucking 6-year-old, like, you know what I mean? I'm just like sinister.
Which I suppose that was the job of it. It's been like from the beginning, him being a mad priest, which is never really explained. And as well, why did he shoot his kid? Was he just trying to shoot John?
He knows you were there.
He's trying to shoot John Travolta because he does say one of the lines in it. He says, I just. He's like, yeah, I shot your kid. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
Get over it.
But you took it so personally. It's like, who wouldn't take that personally though? You just killed my kid.
You took it so personally.
Why couldn't you? He literally goes, why didn't you just kill yourself or let it go? It's like,
but you know, one of the worst scenes in it, which I hate, is when they're both looking in the mirror and they start shooting.
And then they somehow dodge it
because you just go that around the mirror.
Like,
but it's this whole like, oh look, they're shooting themselves, and it's like shoving that metaphor down your throat.
I mean, I enjoy boning your wife. You know what I mean? He's just like,
because he's kind of like, you can see that he's like accepted it by that point. He's like, yeah, you have, because it's when his wife goes like, we've been living it as a married couple for weeks, and he's like, I know.
I can never make that up to you. And he's fucking dying. He's like, I'm Sean. I love that. You know, and he's like, he goes, like he hugs and he's like, please don't scream. And then he just grabs and he goes, I'm Shawnee. He's like, hiya.
She should have been like, oh, he does sound pathetic.
He sounds like a little weasel.
So well, I think that my favourite performance out of not the two main characters. Is, do you know what? I can't even think of anyone.
Probably Carl.
Who's that?
The guy who fucking John Travolta goes like, happy huntings, I'll catch you later. You know, when the guy's fucking trying to go on. No, I'm only joking. He's not really. But do you know the guy who's Jamie's boyfriend? And he's in the car, and he's just like, "Oh fucking!" He goes, "Yeah, like Mr. Visible gives you shit about you anyway." And then he just smashes the window, drags him out, and then he like boots from the balls, and he's like, "Say you're sorry, say it, mean it."
Yeah, where's he got all these morals from? All of us, it's as if Nicolas Cage. Well, I suppose you could be like, it seems like he's like trying to defend the daughter, but he's also just wants to kick a guy's head in.
Yeah, I really wanted to see that in the other side. Like, if it was actual John's fault, would he have smashed the car window, thrown him out? Do you know what I mean? Because he's not crazy like Nicholas. You know what I mean? But it's difficult to, apart from Cage and Travolta, other than his wife, it's difficult to pick a character just because it's like after those two, she's like the main one, and then after that, it's kind of like there's just characters here and there. Like maybe Pollux.
The script's so bad, really, in it that any peripheral character doesn't get any character development.
They're just to serve the two.
I'd probably say his daughter, maybe. Jamie, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, but like
other than that, it's like
they're
again
all two-dimensional, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, do we have any more trivia? What about IMDb?
Do you know what is a mad thing?
I need to look it up.
Yeah, it has 90. Please, it has 93 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, no, I was reading this. Really, the critical reception, it's actually
smashing, isn't it?
Yeah. Everyone's buzzing off it.
And that made me think, like, when I was watching it as well, that's not a film that I'd usually pick to put on. And often a lot of action movies are like, you have to suspend a certain amount of belief or be like, it is going to be corny and full of like cheesy lines and stuff. And there's a couple in there that are really good. But I was watching it going like, oh, is this where a lot of tropes started? And this is in the middle of, like, we're doing action movie. Like, the 90s was so good for films that you're seeing the very peak of the tropes in a genre. So it's like, what seems now like it's a cliche and overplayed then was like cutting edge kind of thing. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, because like back then, action would... the action alone, like the set pieces of the shooting,
100%.
The fighting, all that kind of stuff, that would like do people like that. People would be like, "Oh, I'm really entertained by this."
Yeah.
But I think obviously after people had seen it so many times, eventually they were like, "Nah, we want actual like good characters." And obviously there were people making films with good characters and stuff like that and complex plots. But yeah, I did feel like, other than like John Wick now, you don't really get, and even like when I watch those films, I don't really. I'm like even with like action films, like stuff like Lord of the Rings, even stuff like, you know, when it's like a big battle scene. Yeah. I'm like, right. Obviously, at some point, the good guy's going to win, and it's going to be like a struggle at some point. And I'm not really impressed by all this. All this shit. Like fucking, I'm like, I prefer, like mental character development or like weird plot like stuff. And to be fair, it's a symptom of me hiding away from reality, really, because it's like with Armageddon, right, which we'll discuss later, but like the first half of it, I'm right into it, but when they actually have to do the job, I'm like,
I was like that.
It's the build up.
That's when all the anxiety comes.
Yeah.
And I think I was talking to Karl about this on the way here, about when we're talking about what films we should do. I was saying it'd be interesting for me because I usually pick, like, my mate jokes to me about it, about how like I'll only pick a film if it's like a drama film, like fantasy stuff like Lord of the Rings or whatever, other genres I don't usually gravitate towards unless they have like a very solid dramatic like story going through it. And I think that these films in the 90s were like, here is like I was saying, it's like, look at what we're doing. This is what action movies are like. And then nowadays, like, we've seen loads of action movies. Like, there's Marvel, there's all this stuff. And the same with Armageddon, we're going to talk about that. That started off a load of stuff. But then now it's like, we've seen all that. As well as that, what is the drama, the dramatic story going through it? So I think that's a symptom of, like, things getting better and us looking back on stuff being like, oh, it doesn't hold up. But really, that was the biggest type of action movie then.
Yeah, no,
it was like, whoa, we've seen this new fucking sick action movie with such a crazy idea. These swap faces. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bizarre,
But to be fair, though, John Woo, the director, didn't really... He went on to do the Mission Impossible 2. Oh, yeah. Which is, in retrospect, it's a bit corny as well. Yeah. It's a bit similar, kind of like tech. Yeah. Like, kind of like... It looks now like outdated tech futuristic thing. And
that's another thing with face swapping in it. Isn't he wearing? Yeah, he loves fucking swapping faces. He's ugly and he wants to get and better.
Do you know what the plot is? Yeah, we're gonna swap the faces again. Yeah, and it's like, John, this is the sixth time. Back it in.
You're not wooing me here. Why are you trying to woo me?
He's dead now, isn't he?
Oh, is it?
Is it John Woo? Let's have a look.
Pretty sure.
I'm gonna go on John Woo's Instagram. He's still alive, you cheeky bastard.
He's posting
Is he?
Posting his dinner.
I'm sure I heard he died.
Nah, mate, he's fucking
alive
and kicking.
Was it Jerry Beheimer or someone?
Who, Jerry Bruckheimer?
Bruckheimer, yeah.
Maybe. He's a pioneer for it, and also the gun fu genre.
Gun fu.
Gun fu.
Gun fu, right.
Woo. Ah.
Slow. He's known for his highly chaotic bullet ballet action sequences, stylized imagery, Mexican standoffs, frequent use of slow motion, and allusions to film noir.
To be fair, there is that big standoff at the end where there's like 8 of them all pointing guns at each other.
In the church.
Yeah, and in my head I was going, a face-off in Oh, it's a standoff.
Gabris.
It's not called a face-off.
So he comes in the church, innit, and he's like, Gabris, and then...
That whole church thing is so weird because it's like...
Yeah.
They're at the funeral, this guy, and like, for some reason, he's there like early.
Very early.
Really early. And then he kneels down and like prays to the Lord or whatever for a minute. And then he gets up and then he obviously hides away whilst everyone is there.
Doing the funeral.
Then the funeral happens and then it's fine. And then he waits till everyone leaves, goes back to an empty pulpit, whatever it is, and fucking just waits for his mortal enemy to come up behind him with a gun.
Yeah. And he's just ready and waiting, but he's facing the opposite way.
So John Woo, right? What do you think, John? So also, I don't know if you've ever seen Broken Arrow.
I've seen Broken Arrow.
I have seen that. That's bad.
It's so bad, but I'll watch it again. Christian Slater, John Travolta. They're like pilots, like the kind of, what are they? It's really bad. But I would watch it again. Like it's on Disney as well.
So basically, Face Off is John Woo's biggest
film, yeah.
And so this is what was it? 1997.
97, yeah.
97.
So what? So Pulp Fiction's 95. John Travolta's just done that 2 years
94,
before.
Yeah.
Oh, 91.
94.
94, yeah. And then, so what's Nicolas Cage doing around this time as well? Like
Con Air, The Rock.
Yeah, no, this was Nicolas Cage's massive year.
Oh yeah, this was like
Con Air, The Rock, and Face Off are meant to be his like Nicolas Cage trilogy.
Yeah, 100%. And I love all them. Like 100%. I love them all.
Okay.
Face Off is the one that I'm most familiar with.
I think
I have watched Con Air and The Rock, but
The Rock's
only
probably
then when they're on TV, and I've caught like
60,
like 80 minutes of it or something.
My mum knows my films because every time Face Off comes on ITV2, which is always on ITV2, she'll always message me and she goes, Face Off's on ITV2, don't worry, I've recorded it. And I'm
Your
like,
film.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'll watch that when I get back to my mum's.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, it's always them 3 on ITV2.
Trivia. I was getting trivia up when I saw it. 1 second.
It's all good. We're almost at the end of the pod now.
Okay.
Hope you're enjoying it, guys.
We'll rate the film as
Listeners, just
we'll
you wait for this trivia.
And then we'll do a rating out of 5 again.
Yeah.
And we're not having 0.5s, are we? We decided we're just going to have whole numbers.
Yeah.
I can't count.
Face Off. Ooh, Face Off 2 might be in the...
It is. It got spoken about in 2019 and 2021, and I was like, where do you go with the sequel? Do you know what I mean?
Like I said, the boy.
The boy, yeah. It's
the
like
boy.
when they're older, yeah. But it's like, who's he going to go against? Or would it be Travolta versus Cage's son? Because he turns on him or something, and he's like, right, I need to switch faces here.
Yeah,
so, but he's 40 years younger.
Yeah. So like, when he gets to like 18 or something, he starts going mental. Like
how old would
he be
Troy's
now? Blood.
He'd be about 30 odd now, his son.
Yeah.
If he's 6 in that's 27 years, so he'd be 33.
And Travolta would be
70 odd.
Bald as well.
Yeah. Wee, you good look. Yeah. I love to see him do that at 70.
Here we go. Nicolas Cage and John Travolta spent 2 weeks together before filming and learning how to play each other. They decided on specific gestures, and you kind of mentioned that before, vocal cadences and stuff.
Kind of stuff. The big wide eyes thing that Nicolas Cage does.
I read about this as well actually before, that the guy got the idea Do you know how the?
It was from a different film, wasn't it?
No, it's he got the idea for the
ski accident on it or something.
Yeah, kind of. He got the face idea from a face surgery from a friend who had a hang gliding accident. And they had to remove most of the skin from his face and put it back on. Okay, so we got cut out then, but just wanted to just finish one thing of the trivia. We were talking about before whether John Travolta was going to be gutted about ridiculous chin or whether he put in that line, and it says here on the trivia, John Travolta asked the writers if they were making fun of him with the ridiculous chin line. They explained that Castor was such a narcissist that he would hate having anyone's face. That was definitely... They just was
made
like,
that
no.
up. Yeah. He is one of those, like, when they're all in the office, he's like got his hands on the desk and he's like, did you mean that about the ridiculous chin? And they're like, no. Like,
at the after party when they're all having drinks and stuff like that. And he's like, it was such a great film. Did you mean that?
No, John, can we just... John to a John, listen.
I'm called John.
Yeah.
John to John.
We've hired everyone on all the back crew are all called John.
Yeah, so we don't know who he's speaking to, so we can just like divert it.
And they all have worse chins than you, all right.
So what are we rating out of 5 stars?
Right.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay,
go
ahead.
Obviously I grew up on these films and obviously like wanted to, like, it's my dream to be in that sort of film back in that day and age, but it wouldn't happen now because of, differences and whatnot. But I think in terms when you look at it from like an acting point of view and a storyline and everything going on when you're this age now, when I'm 31 instead of like a 12-year-old, I'd probably fairly for myself, because I would watch it again. I give it a 3 in the middle. I think it's not like a 1 or 2 where it's like shit that, because I know it's not the best acting and it's not the best storyline looking at it, but I've got to keep true to myself, because like I said, they're my films I grew up on, so I give it a fair 3 in the middle.
I think because I'm pretty sure I gave 8 Mile like 3 or 4, and I really like 8 Mile. Like, do you know what I mean? And but I also gave it this, like, same with you, where you like you watch it as a kid and it's an important,
it's your decision
thing. Yeah. But me watching this as someone for the first time, and also not. Really
I think you should rate it like contemporarily. So like fucking, that's not a word, but like where it's like what you thought of it now.
I'm gonna go 2. Yeah, and I'm not saying it's bad. Although that is technically saying it's bad, isn't it?
It's not good
it's
enough.
Not bad.
Well, no,
one is bad.
No, but it's your your view on it as watching it.
Well, I mean, it's a bad film. I would have never gone back and watched it had we not said, should we talk about it?
And it's not even one of those that when you were watching, when you said in your teenage years when you're getting loads of DVDs, mine was more like getting all the classics like Scorsese films and like just certain ones that are like, these are the ones you should watch, and Face Off never
Facing
off.
Version.
Facing Off.
Facing Off.
Good film, that.
It was never one where I was like, I've got to watch that. And then watching it, I'm like, this is an action film like I'd expect, and it's very ridiculous. And the reason it's not a 1 is because there are redeeming qualities of it, but it's a 2 because it's like so I can enjoy it, but it's ridiculous.
The problem is that I gave 8 Mile 3 stars.
Yeah.
And like you said, like it's I would go back and watch 8 Mile, but. So I'll probably give it 2 as well.
Yeah.
Fair.
You give it 3, and you've got more attachment to it. So
I think just for growing up, it's more based on the nostalgia part of it as well. So that's the reason. Because I probably would give it a 2 as well if I just watched it now. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? But I've got to be just fair.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, like the middle bit is actually really good, and it's just the 2 other ends of the film where I'm like, this is just bizarre.
Yeah, it's like they knew that the middle would be great, but they had to get it started and they had to tie it up, and they were the 2 plot holes in it, like that it's a bit mad on either side of it.
Well, you said it, didn't you? Because you were like, when you watched the first 20 minutes, you're like, what the fuck is this? And then it gets good because it's like different characters. And then when John Travolta becomes himself again, you're like, just wrap it up, come on. We're not asked anymore.
It's so funny that at the time it got like really good reviews, like so interesting.
You say 93 or something?
On Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't know if that's a critic score or the fan score.
But like on Wikipedia, like it does like a little roundup of the critical.
I think it got nominated for an Oscar as well.
An Oscar?
No, for the sound editing.
For the sound editing, yeah. Not like
John
Travolta's performance as Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Let me just maybe just we need to wrap it up, but 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.8 out of 10 on
that's amazing.
IBD whatever, and it says like Roger Ebert, you know, the famous he's a famous film critic from America. He gave the film 3 stars out of 4.
Oh wow!
Right, remarks like here using big movie stars and asking them to play each other. Wu and his writers find a terrific counterpoint to the action scenes. All through the movie, you find yourself reinterpreting every scene as you realise the other character is really playing it. And it says, another guy said, you may not buy the premise or the wind-up, but John Travolta and Cage taking comic and psychic measures to their characters and their own careers. There is no resisting face-off. You gotta see it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that now that I've watched it, I'm glad I've watched it because it's certainly a spectacle in itself as an idea. So
that was the late 90s.
So, Face Off.
That was it. Face Off, everyone. That is the episode of Face Off. Hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next week. We're going to be talking about the blockbuster film, also in the 90s, Armageddon. So tune in for that. I've been Karl Porter.
I've been Ben Silver.
And I've been Phil Sutton. And I'm getting a hard on just thinking about it, guys.
Yeah. I just want to close my eyes. I don't want to fuck my ass off for 16 weeks, baby. Because I'm waiting for it to heal up.
We have 18 days.